Hello. I have lived in Washington, D.C. for a long time now, and I have done a lot. I feel that I know this city pretty well. That's the wrong way. Where is it again? Excuse me. Can I help you? Have we met before?
I don't think so. I've just flown in from Boston. My name is Jean.
Hi, Jean. I'm Anna. I really feel like we've met before. Anyway, how can I help?
I want to see an interesting museum, but I don't know which one.
I can help with that. I've lived in Washington, D.C. a long time. I think I've seen all the museums.
Wow, thanks. So tell me, which museums are good?
Well, they are all good, but they're all different. There are science museums, and history museums, and art and culture museums.
I want to see an unusual museum.
I like the sculpture garden. Have you ever seen sculptures in a garden? It is really artistic.
I have never seen a garden of sculptures. I'll write that on my list.
I have lived here for a long time now.
Have you been to the Museum of the American Indian? I've visited that museum many times. It is very peaceful.
I have always liked American Indian culture. I'll put that on my list. Do you have any other suggestions?
Well, if you like plants, you can visit the U.S. Botanic Gardens. It's very organic.
I have always loved plants. I'll write that on my list too. Wow, you know so much about DC's museums.
Well, I have lived here for over a year.
You're so lucky to live in such a beautiful city filled with so many museums and a zoo.
What? DC has a zoo?
Yes, and it's beautiful. You've lived here for so long and you haven't been to the zoo?
I've never been to DC's zoo. I've never been to any zoos.
You haven't been to the zoo?
You have never seen zoo animals?
I grew up on a farm, Jean. I've known farm animals my whole life.
But the zoo has lions and elephants and zebras. If you have never seen a real live elephant, you must. They are so majestic.
I will. I will. There. I've written my own must-see zoo animal list.
Have fun at the zoo, and thanks, Anna.
Have fun at the museums, Jean, and thank you.
American Indian. American Indian.
An American Indian is a member of any of the first groups of people living in North America or South America. The members of these nations are also called Native Americans, or by the name of their tribal nation, as in, a member of the Navajo tribe.
Animal. Animal.
An animal is a living thing that is not a human being or plant.
U.S. Botanic Garden. U.S. Botanic Garden.
The U.S. Botanic Garden is a large public garden in Washington, D.C., where plants are grown in order to be studied.
Elephant. Elephant.
An elephant is a very large gray animal that has a long, flexible nose and 2 long tusks.
Lion. Lion.
A lion is a large wild cat that has golden brown fur and that lives mainly in Africa.
Majestic. Majestic.
Majestic means large and impressively beautiful.
Own. Own.
To own means to have something as property or to legally possess something.
Plant. Plant.
A plant is a living thing that grows in the ground, usually has leaves or flowers, and needs sun and water to survive.
Science. Science.
Science is knowledge about or study of the natural world based on facts learned through experiments and observation.
Sculpture. Sculpture.
A sculpture is a piece of art that is made by carving or molding clay, stone, wood, or metal.
Suggestion. Suggestion.
A suggestion is an idea about what someone should do or how someone should behave.
Zebra. Zebra.
A zebra is an African animal that looks like a horse and has black and white stripes covering its body.
Zoo. Zoo.
A zoo is a place where many kinds of animals are kept so that people can see them.
Do,
Done.
meet,
Met.
fly,
Flown.
see,
Seen.
be,
Been.
know,
Known.
write.
Written. In this lesson, you hear Anna and Jean using the present perfect verb tense. Listen to Anna talking about living in Washington, D.C.
I have lived in Washington, D.C. for a long time now.
The present perfect tense uses two verbs, a main verb and an auxiliary verb. The auxiliary verb is have or has, and the main verb is in something we call the past participle form. For regular verbs, that means you add d or ed to the base form of the verb.
When do we use the present perfect? 1. To talk about an action in the past that is important in the present.
I've just flown in from Boston.
The present perfect may confuse you because we use it to talk about a past action. It is called present perfect because speakers use it to stress the importance of a past event in the present. The sentence, "I've just flown in from Boston," stresses the present effect of a past event, travel from Boston. The exact time of the travel is not important.
2. To talk about repeated actions. The present perfect can also tell about a repeated action. When an action happened more than one time in the past, use the present perfect. For example,
I've visited that museum many times.
3. With the prepositions for or since. It is also common to use the present perfect with the words for and since.
Well, I have lived here for over a year.
4. With the adverbs ever and never. Questions with ever use the present perfect.
Have you ever seen sculptures in a garden?
We often use the present perfect with the negative adverb never. Anna and Jean both use it with never.
I've never been to DC's zoo. I've never been to any zoos.
You have never seen zoo animals?
unlike regular verbs, irregular verbs take many different endings in their past participle form. Or sometimes they don't change at all. The irregular past participle verbs in this lesson are done, met, flown, seen, been, known, and written. For example, you hear Anna say,
Have we met before?
Now you try it. Answer this question with a present perfect verb.
Have you ever flown in an airplane?
Yes, I have flown in an airplane.
No, I have never flown in an airplane.